Howdy, folks. Welcome to the AKS community. Good to have everybody here. It's been a while since we've done a video. We had a lot of excitement over the past few weeks with KubeCon in Chicago and Ignite in Seattle. Lots of great work that's come out of the team. And in fact, on this YouTube channel, there's a playlist of all the videos we did of our Azure pre-day. So jump over there and take a look at those. But today we have a very exciting topic. Hopefully, we're going to do a lot more of these kind of pre-recorded sessions where we're talking about the latest features that we've done. Today's is about enhanced AKS cluster troubleshooting. And one of the things I've noticed just talking to customers is more and more customers want functionality built into the portal. I'm a command line person, and so I kind of expected most people just start with kubectl commands and go from there. But we're hearing from customers they want more ability to figure out what's going on in their AKS environments in the portal and be provided ways to actually do their own kind of troubleshooting. So lots of excitement here. I'm going to bring on Samantha and Aritra from our AKS product team. If you folks want to go ahead and introduce yourself, we'll get started.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Samantha. I'm a product manager at Microsoft. Thank you for the introduction, Brian. And a key part of my job is to talk to people, understand the tools and technologies they use, and identify any gaps that we could address, especially here with troubleshooting in Portal. Richa?
Thanks, Brian. I'm Aritra. I'm a product manager on the AKS team. I focus on observability and troubleshooting. Excited to be here and share more.
All right, awesome. Well, probably no reason to wait much longer. I saw that you have some really great slides and content and demos. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I'll put your screen on the stream here, and then I'll step away. But the floor will be yours. Thanks for being here.
Perfect. Let's jump in. Perfect. As Brian mentioned, as we see cloud native applications and microservices getting more popular due to the scalability and flexibility, we also see there are unique challenges when it comes to observability and troubleshooting. AKS clusters are a popular choice for deploying cloud native applications and microservices. However, it's also important that we ensure timely diagnosis and resolution of deployment issues within these clusters so that you can achieve your SLOs and SLIs. Observability is a key to understanding what's happening inside your AKS clusters. This includes monitoring metrics, logs, and traces to gain insights into the health and performance of your applications and infrastructure. Troubleshooting is the process of identifying and resolving these issues. So it can involve analyzing logs and metrics and traces to pinpoint to the root cause and take corrective action. And by excelling in observability and troubleshooting in your clusters, you can reduce your downtime and ensure that you're meeting your SLOs and SLIs. This can lead to both improved customer satisfaction and also improved business outcomes. So yeah, once again, really excited to announce some of the new features that we have been working on in the Azure Portal. So like you know, Azure Portal is a tool for managing and monitoring your Azure resources, which includes Kubernetes clusters. And today we are excited to announce 3 new features which will enhance your cluster troubleshooting experience. The first feature is the node saturation, which provides real-time insights into the resource utilization of your Kubernetes nodes. So within node saturation, you can quickly identify nodes that are underutilized or overutilized and take corrective action to optimize your cluster's performance. The second one is cluster autoscaler metrics. This gives you detailed metrics on how your cluster is scaling in response to quick changes in demand. With these metrics, you can monitor the effectiveness of your autoscaling policies and make adjustments as you need. You can get insights into the current scaling status of your nodes and ensure that your workloads are actually running. And the third one is Kubernetes events, which gives you a comprehensive view of all the events that are happening inside your Kubernetes cluster. With these events, you can quickly identify and troubleshoot issues related to pod scheduling, resource allocation, and a lot more. Together with these 3 new features, you will be able to redefine your cluster troubleshooting experience in Portal. And by providing these real-time insights in the clusters, in your cluster, can ensure that your applications are again able to meet their service level objectives and delivering value to your end customers. Now I'll hand it over to Samantha to talk more through the node saturation experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aritra, for that great overview. So, in collaboration with Aritra throughout the year, we've been working on these 3 features together, and definitely node saturation is one that I think will help you a lot, especially when it comes to maintaining the right balance of resources in your AKS cluster and for your applications to run smoothly. When a node becomes overloaded, it can lead to application slowdowns, process timeouts, like context deadline exceeded, and even failures. And due to all of these reasons, right, we've decided to introduce these metrics to show them front and center to you. And they're all directly sourced from the Kubernetes API. So you're able to like identify on the spot, which nodes are causing issues in my applications, right? And you're able to identify whether resizing the node pool is the root cause of your application issues, or whether it's a matter of optimizing your pod's capacities within the nodes that are not performing optimally. So that's kind of an overview of the feature itself, and let's just show a quick demo of what the feature looks like today in Portal. And then you have to click next. Awesome. So here you'll see that in our nodes demo scenario, you'll notice that we have a cluster with 2 node pools, which has been receiving alerts and signals of being non-performant. In the event of an application slowdown, right, you're able to check this blade here with your nodes and check which nodes are struggling to meet resource demands. Note that the CPU memory and disk utilization metrics are colored orange if the used amount is higher than your allocatable amount, while it's colored red if the pressure conditions were triggered, right? So if we're really reaching like a critical threshold of allocatable capacity, then you'll be able to see those bars be colored red. So definitely giving you some feedback and like insight there when it comes to your capacity. But definitely something you can't do on command line, right? And you can't really see that. So that's why it was important for us to make sure that this was shown in Portal. And then here you're able to troubleshoot directly as well with our troubleshooter wizard. Definitely useful to use if you're feeling like you're not sure what to make sense of this. And then if you're an Insights customer with us, you're able to dig down deeper into your pods, right? So as you can see here, you can dig down deeper and triage specifically which pod is using up like a high capacity, right? And as you can see there, so when it comes to insights, definitely very useful if you want to do advanced troubleshooting and really pinpoint exactly where the source of the issues for the application slowdowns is occurring. And yeah, definitely that's what you can see there. And then another way, if you want to troubleshoot with command line, actually, that's another option that we'll provide here, is definitely using command line to like check that. You're going to be able to see the tables and the information there of which pod has the issues. But if you prefer Portal, you'll definitely see a lot more different colors and feedback there. That's going to help you indicate if it's something critical or not. So if you're more of a command line person, definitely try using take a look at some of our documentation there. And yeah, that is all I had. But I'm going to give it to Aritra now, and he's going to talk about all the other cool features like cluster autoscaler and events that also will help you triage better. Take it away. Probably have to click next. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks again, Samantha. So now we are going to talk about the next one, which is Kubernetes events. Like some of you may or may not know, Kubernetes events are a real-time mechanism for tracking and communicating whatever changes have taken place in your cluster. They are by default Kubernetes native and again available through command line. And this is a new experience in Portal where you can look at all the different events that have happened in your cluster. And particularly what is interesting is there are various ways you can filter through it. So you can filter on the reason, on the type, and you might be interested only in events of type warning and some specific reason. Kubernetes events also let you alert on them. So that's particularly interesting if you want to know these issues ahead of time and alert on them. So this is again a new blade which you can see on under the Kubernetes resources in Azure portal of your AKS cluster. And I'll now first talk through some of the things in Cluster Autoscaler and then show a demo. So yeah, this is the cluster autoscaler experience. We have heard again and again, it's challenging to know if cluster autoscaler is performing well, whether my workloads have actually scaled, whether I have new nodes allocated, and this helps you understand if your nodes have actually scaled to your workloads. So this is again another tab in the node pools view under settings, and this helps you understand if the scale up has already happened, if the scale down has already happened, and if not, it helps you go and figure out from these Kubernetes events what actually went wrong. So I will quickly jump ahead to a demo and show what I'm talking about, so that will help understand. Perfect. So this is a video of a cluster where we have two nodes currently, and the scale method is set to auto scale. That means cluster autoscaler has been enabled. The minimum node count is 2 and the maximum node count is 10. This is just to show what's the setting right now. Now we'll go ahead and try to scale one of the deployments that we have to have 10 replicas and see whether cluster autoscaler is performing. So the first thing we want to see is whether those replicas have come up. And if you can see, there is only 5 of those 10 replicas that are ready from the workloads tab. So we actually need to see the scale to the demand. Now we go back to the node pools view and see that the target nodes is still not updated. So once we refresh, we should see that the target nodes now says 4, which means the cluster autoscaler is actually informed that it needs to scale up, and the scaling status does say scaling up. So, and then this is where we go back to the Kubernetes events. So you can see that these are all the events from the cluster autoscaler. Some of them are from a previous scale up or scale down, but what we are interested are the ones at the bottom, which says that it's asked to scale up to 4 nodes, which was what we saw. The target nodes is 4. What's also interesting is here the source is already set to cluster autoscaler. If you want to look at overall all other events, then you can set the source to all and then filter through those. Now here we see all the different events for the cluster that includes different sources, objects. Like I mentioned, you might be interested only in warnings, so you can filter only by warnings and then look at only those events which might indicate something is wrong on your cluster. You can click on a specific event to look more into what it's saying, different things on them. And like here it says 0 of 2 nodes are available, and there's some about insufficient CPU. This helps you understand what's going wrong. Now we'll again go back and see if it has actually scaled. If you refresh, as you refresh, you can see if things have actually been moving. We can again go back and see if the workloads have scaled. The other interesting thing is there are situations where the cluster autoscaler might not trigger due to what is called scale up not triggered. These are specific events where it's intended that the cluster autoscaler will not scale. That's a different banner which you can see and click on, filter only on them. So you can continue refreshing till you see whether cluster autoscaler is scaled. We'll go back to the workloads tab to see if those pods are ready right now. So now we see there's still 5 out of 10, so it has not scaled to all the 10 pods that we had asked for. Now we see that 3 out of those 4 nodes are ready. So we have seen that cluster autoscaler has actually scaled from 2 to 3 nodes. So this is just a given idea of like how you can keep track if you want to do it live. Of course, this also helps go back and see if it did not scale, why it did not scale. So we'll be here for a while and see how it scales and whether those pods actually come up. So let's see again. We still see 5 pods. And now we see that 8 pods are ready. So we are there. Let's go back. And so the new node that came up actually has started running those pods. So we have 2 more pods that are yet to be scheduled. So we go back to the node pools view. And it's now we see 4 nodes ready, and as well as 4 nodes as the target. The auto scaling status might still show scaling up, but as long as the target nodes and the ready nodes are same, you can be assured that those nodes have come up and it has done. It might show scaling up for a little bit while more, but eventually it will show no scale activity, which means cluster autoscaler has done what it's supposed to, and those pods are running. Perfect. I think this ends the video. We can see if this, go back to the node pools view. Okay, perfect. So I'll stop the video here and go back to the next slide. Perfect. I'll finally end with some of what we are thinking about in our roadmap. So like we said earlier, we are constantly working to improve our Kubernetes offerings in Azure, and we have a lot of exciting features coming up, especially in our troubleshooting and observability roadmap. We are excited about the future of Kubernetes in Azure, and we are committed to delivering the best possible experience for our customers, whether on portal or otherwise. Stay tuned for more updates and announcements as we continue to innovate and improve our offerings.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So I guess the one thing I'd love for people to know that are watching it, if somebody saw those demos, super cool demos, and they're watching it and they're like, wow, I sure wish this would appear in the portal. What a great opportunity. Your names are here. This is the perfect way to get feedback directly to the team. You can really just put it in the comments for the video, reach out to us through the social channels on this, and let us know what you want to hear. I thought that was very cool. The Autoscaler, being somebody that's worked with AKS since the beginning, when the Autoscaler was supposed to be doing something and it wasn't, good luck figuring out what was happening. Like, you really had to know how to dig into the cluster and break things to figure out what's going on. That was awesome. One question for you. I noticed, like, I think Samantha even mentioned it, container insights. Some of the functionality, it looked like it was all just in the portal. Do I have to be a Container Insights customer to see, say, the Autoscaler events that you were showing?
I think Ritra, you got that one.
Yeah. For the Autoscaler experience, it's completely free. You do not need Container Insights or anything else. It uses the native Kubernetes events, and that's available for an hour for free. If you use Container Insights, you can store them for longer, but for the basic experience itself, you don't need any paid offering. What Samantha showed earlier for the node saturated experience,
It's all free tier, yeah.
so
Yeah.
that might be that the Container Insights part to analyze whether which pods are taking high memory, especially if you want to go back in the past and see. That's something that's part of Container Insights. If you want to analyze something at this current point, we just go and see what is the current usage of these pods. That's free through command line.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, I know some customers will be using maybe their own monitoring tool, or they're using Prometheus and Grafana. That they can go to those tools to do the depth troubleshooting. But I still think people are going to come to the portal and start to see some warnings of what's happening. Again, that screen that Samantha showed where things were orange or red, that's a great opportunity to just highlight those things for someone.
Yeah.
And then digging into them, they may turn to their own tools, and it depends on the company from there. But great to see that, because again, I think more and more customers are going to the portal and expecting to really be able to manage their environment there, as well as through other tools.
Something else to add to that, though, definitely, I think the whole reason we started this, and I just wanted to touch on that, is that, like, customers wanted to see more signals, right? And you're talking about the signals. It's like, what can tell me that I need to go dig deeper, right? And it's like, sometimes it's not just alerts. It's like an alert can be very general. It's like, in general, your application's been, like, not performing well, right? And it's like they need signals as to specifically what part of your cluster is not functioning well. So hopefully this can give them that signal to go find, whether they're using a third-party application or Container Insights, right, for their monitoring solution and observability solution, to figure out, okay, let's dig deeper into this, right? So definitely our objective has been to provide as much as possible free to customers for troubleshooting and observability out of the box.
Awesome. Yeah, observability certainly is one of the key areas. So you'll see more and more content on here on this channel that you probably can go look at our KubeCon Chicago videos. I know George, the keynote video, George talked a bit about observability and things like network observability add-on, Prometheus, Grafana. We're putting a lot of investments into this area. So hopefully people will see this and learn about them. Thank you both for being here. I thought this was a great session. Loved the demos. Loved having you for the session. So hope to see you here again. And for everybody that joined, thanks for listening. Let us know in comments and things like that, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
For having us. Really enjoyed this. Thanks. Bye.